everybody, and welcome back to this session. We are going to have a parallel session now, as was announced before, for startups and investors, again, for the startups to try to catch the attention of for investment today. And on the stage, we have at the same time Vittorino Filippas. Vittorino is Vice Director of Ntice. He's also a manager. He was top management all throughout his career until he joined as joint professor at the University of Trento 4 years ago. And he's going to talk about lessons learned on entrepreneurship, about knights and dragons. Vittorino Filippas.
Ciao ragazzi, hello. Hello everybody, so I'm here to entertain you. I'm a kind of a cover band, no? So I have to play in the meantime that the big guys, the U2 are discussing and the Pink Floyd are discussing, so I have to entertain you. So how to entertain such a diversity of people here? So we have top managers, we have top professors, students, startups, entrepreneurs, anybody, such a diversity of listeners. So, okay, what's the only thing that can make everybody happy? Okay, is tales, fairy tales. So what I will tell you is a fairy tale today. So we'll have a bit of fun today. By the way, we are a short group, so a small group. So it's like discussing in the family. Let's imagine to be in the sitting room of our house, and I will tell you this nice story. So it's a story about knights and dragon. It's a fairy tale, but of course with a small morale at the end. So once upon a time, so every fairy tale starts like this. Once upon a time there was a nice town in the middle of a valley with fantastic mountains surrounding, with a nice scenery all around, and all citizens were living fantastically, happily in this city, in this town. But unfortunately, all of a sudden, a dragon started threatening the city. So what's going to happen? So people start being worried and say, what we're going to do? So the dragon already hit a few towns around. So what will happen to our nice city in the middle of the mountains? So the king, strong king that was loving his citizens, decided to recruit an army of knights. So powerful, courageous knights. And they were specifically trained to kill dragons. Only to kill dragons. So super specialized army. So they made some training, they made some labs, so they are now ready for the dragons. And they start also designing some machines for killing dragons. Some of them said, okay, I have a fantastic idea. I know that the dragon have 7 heads. All dragons have 7 heads. Okay, this is his opinion. So he said, okay, I will make 7 dragon head chopping machine so that as soon as the dragon come in, zack, all 7 heads will be cut and dragon will be killed. Fantastic, so that's a machine. All the people say, oh, good, we have the knight that will save the city. Fantastic, that's good. Then another knight say, but sorry, and what if the dragon have 9 heads? So there are still 2 heads left, and we will be killed by the 2 heads that we will not be able to chop. So, okay, we have a problem. All the people say, oh, boo, boo. Okay, so another knight came out and say, whoa, I have an idea, because forget the 7 heads. The really dangerous thing is the dragons have 3 claws. So they catch you and then take you away, take you into their nest, and you will become food for their pups. So that's a real problem. Yes, but I have the solution. Oh, yes, you have the solution. Fantastic. Very good. So what is the solution? Oh, yeah, anybody should have 3 anchors. So you move 1 anchor at a time. So you are very heavy, and the dragon will not take you out. So it's a bit slowly and clumsy, but finally you are saved. Good idea. Yes, we will be saved by the night. Good, that's fine. But someone is saying, but sorry, you are tremendously slow, okay? You will be not taken to the nest, but you will be killed. So I think this is no solution. Oops. So also this is not a solution. Boo, anybody, a little bit depressed. So what to do? Okay, then the biggest knight came out, the white knight. Okay, he came in and said, I have the solution. I have a machine, and the machine is fantastic. The machine is self-walking, is moving, is able to move around the mountains. So we have not to wait for the dragon to come here. We go and take the dragon where the dragon is, and we will kill the dragon. We will hit him, and of course, he's fireproof because dragon, anybody knows, have spitting fire, and so we will be saved by the dragon, and we will kill the dragon, and everybody will be happy. That's good. Whoa, the people again. Oh, anybody's happy. Then what happened? So a young knight, very young, he was just get the degree out of the University of Knights in the nice city. He came out and said, "But sorry, gentlemen, sorry to disturb you, but you are talking of a knight with 7 heads, 9 heads, 3 claws, spitting fire. But anybody knows the knight? No, forget about it. Impossible to know the dragon. But if it's impossible to know the dragon, what to do? How you can defend from it? No, but tell me, believe me, it's impossible. So if you know the dragon, 5 minutes after you are killed. Either you are burned or taken by the claws or whatever, but no chance. So nobody is telling us what the dragon, how the dragon is made, because there is no chance to know it. As soon as you know, you're dead. So what's the point? But the young knight was quite determined. He said, no way. I will go and look for the dragon. So he went to the king. He asked for some sponsorship. The king is saying, okay, I gave you some sponsorship. Let's go and look for the dragon. Okay, at least we will, maximum can happen. We lose a young knight. Okay, we will have other. University of Knights is producing young knights tons every day. So, okay, the young guy went around and started climbing the mountains. He went to the north and find this. So some cities have been really destroyed by the dragon. So he's not able to find the dragon, but he's able to find what the dragon did so far. Then he went to the south, and this is what he found. And then he went to the east, and still no trace of a dragon. But finally he found a cave. Okay, very nice. It was the entrance of a cave, big enough to host the dragon. So what to do? So he started entering the cave very slowly. It was dark and gloomy. Are you feeling? He was threatened. And start walking in, and feeling the heartbeat. What will happen here? So, and still entering the cave. And then finally, he saw something. Okay, something? No, there is really not really something. So actually, he was not able to see what, but he was feeling a deep breath. It was not dark fenner, no? It was a dragon. And the dragon was lying over there. And then he steps in slowly, of course silently, because dragons have big ears and can understand and listen everything. So he went near, and then his eyes slowly are getting used to the light and to the darkness. And he starts seeing something. Okay, something more than this slide was showing, but still not very much. So definitely he saw that the dragon has only one head, so there was not the 7-head chopping machine is not probably working perfectly, but still he was not able to see if the dragon was having claws or not, if the dragon was spitting fire or not. So what to do? So he said, okay, I can stay there for 5 minutes and simply be terrified here, or I can try to stay here, get used to the dragon, start staying with him, eventually becoming a little bit friend. Okay, I cannot talk with the dragon, but I can stay near, I can show that I'm not aggressive with him, and let's see how the dragon moves. If the dragon is having some habits, so I can study a little bit the dragon. So what happened after a couple of days? After all, the dragon have to eat something, have to do something, so physical necessities. So let's see how the dragon behaves. So this is what he did. After 2 days, he discovered that, actually the slide is not really, but he discovered that the dragon is going out of the cave. Wow, that's a great thing. So at least I will see the dragon. So he followed the dragon, and the dragon was going out to get a prey and simply have something to eat. And he discovered that the dragon was very clumsy in moving, and especially was very clumsy in flying. Wow, what's going on? So dragons should fly fantastically, so they are flying and coming into the sky and then spitting the fire. So what's going on? This is a very strange dragon. So he discovered, actually not really visible, but the dragon here has a clipped wing. So a piece of a wing is definitely missing from him. So he said, wow, that's the problem. So at least we have discovered that the dragon have a problem. So maybe if I know better the dragon, I can hit him hard and not being killed by it. Okay, let's study a little bit better. So he understood that really the clipping wing was making him flying very badly. So maybe the clipped wing and this very bad behavior in flying is making him angry, and this maybe is the reason that he is destroying cities, because he is so angry that some knight destroy his wing, that he will destroy any city he will find on his path. Whoa, that's a good idea. So what he did, so he came back to the University of Ntice. He simply joined with some of his friends. They prepared something. Okay, they didn't go into a very big research laboratory, but they prepared something. They took some piece of clothes, they took some piece of leather, they stitched with some leather, and they created a fake piece of wing that can fit exactly to the dragon wing. So he said, okay, I will, let's say, bolt it into the wing. Let's see how the dragon behaves. So the dragon, after 2 days, went again to get, during the night, to get his prey, and the dragon was uncertain to jump out of the cave like any night, because he was quite clumsy in flying. So what our friend Theodore Pickering was his name. We have to remember Theodore Pickering. Don't forget, it's important knowing the name of this knight. So what he did, very courageous. The knight was, the dragon was just there to fly, and he kicked the dragon, and the dragon flew. And the dragon was flying well. Whoa. Even if the wing was not perfect, the dragon was able to fly and make the somerset and volts in the sky. The dragon was very happy. The dragon got the prey, come back to the cave, became friend of the knight, our dear Theodore Pickering, and then became friend. What happened? The dragon now is becoming and going into the city several times. He's not destroying any city. He's coming into the city, and by the way, becoming and talking also with the other knights, because it became famous, this place, to solve dragon problems. So either a wing or the tail or something to prepare the skins, to light the fire. So the city became known as a good place where dragon problems can be solved. So more dragons came into the city, and finally our friend Theodore Pickering became rich and famous. Our nice town in the mountains becomes super renowned to be the town that solves dragon problems, and probably, let's say, social media for dragons works better than for humans, so many dragons are coming there. And let's say the Theodore Pickering was happy, the king was super happy, all the citizens was tremendously happy because they have not been frightened anymore by dragons. And the dragon was happy too. So, of course, like in the story happens, and everybody lived happily after. And is this the end of the story? Do you think that this is the end of the story? No, of course, you have to say no. This is just the beginning of the story, of course. Because this is the new beginning of an era, because probably you have unfortunately, they put even in the agenda that there are lessons learned. So, because if you hear about knights and dragon, it's nice. If you say a lesson learned, come on, again, a lesson. So I was trying to avoid it. But there are some lessons learned out of the dragon story. Okay, the first lesson is that customers sometimes behave like dragons. So, yes, they hide. It's not easy to find them. It's not immediate that you understand them. So what is the lesson learned? So if they hide, what you have to do? So probably, first of all, it's useless to be lost on assumptions. So there are knights that were working on 7-head chopping machines. There are knights working on strange wooden machines that climb the mountains. There were knights working on anchors. Come on, there are people that are spending time and money in developing something without knowing the customer. Ooh, that's bad. But knowing the customer is not enough. You know the story. So the first thing is that you have to live with the customer. So it's not enough to enter the cave. It's not enough to come near to the dragon. It's not enough to sit there and let your eyes be used to the darkness. No, you just have a light vision of the dragon. So a market test, when you spend 5 minutes with the dragon, a focus group that you spend half a day or 1 day with the dragon is not enough. You have to live with the dragon. You have to live for days, maybe months, definitely weeks. So you have to understand the habits. You have to understand that the dragon is flying at night. You have to understand how the dragon is catching the prey. You have to understand how the dragon is feeling. So living with the customer is the only way to do this. Not just staying, not just making questions. So most likely the question will be wrong. The answer will be good in reply to the questions, but the questions, you never know if you really hit the point. And then once you live with the customer and you identify the solution, then test if the solution is really a solution for the dragon. Maybe it's just a solution for yourself. So what Theodore Pickleton did, he went immediately back to his University of Knights to build a minimum viable product, to check. Because maybe, yes, maybe the clipped wing is a problem, but maybe it's not the biggest problem. Maybe the dragon is angry with the city for a completely different set of reasons. So let's identify if your idea is really working in this specific case. So living with the customer is the only way to know this. And building a minimum viable product, not a refined thing. So Theodore Pickleton has not gone to the space agency to design the best dragon wing. He simply designed whatever is good to, let's see if the dragon is flying. By the way, early adopters don't care about bugs. They want to have the new cool thing on the market. So bugs is something that you will solve later on. Don't over-invest money and time simply in developing something that if you don't know if is really in the direction of the solution. So this is the big lesson learned. So build a minimum viable product. Of course, validate your idea. So is your idea good or not? Is the clipped wing the real problem, or he has a problem, a pin in a claw, or sand in his eyes? So you don't know yet. So find what is the riskiest assumption. Some of you have heard about the lean startup machine, the validation board. Fantastic tool to understand and to validate the riskiest assumption. So my idea is there, but my idea fail if I don't understand this. Okay, let's validate immediately the key point of your idea. If this works, fantastic. Then go ahead. And then be ready to scale it up. Because start small, be lean at the beginning, don't over-invest money, because you will receive the 25K, then you will receive maybe some more money with a matching fund, but it will not be the money you really need to make the whole business. It's just a part of the money. I'm just making questions to the tech peakers outside. When are going to end up your money? Oh, I will finish my money in April. I feel risky. I will finish my money in June. Okay, I'm happy. I will finish my money in August. So money, you will run out of money. So the point is, keep lean, keep very simple, keep your structure just at the bone. To be also, because being lean means also being proactive and reactive. And then be able to scale up as fast as you can, as much as you can. Because also other towns, also other knights will go and find solution for dragons. You will not be the only one studying. So there are knights, there are dragons, so anybody is trying to tap a market. If you are fast, you will tap a bigger market. If you are slow, the market will be negligible. Okay, basically this was the story. This was the song for the cover band, I tell you. And let's say, of course, if you are still inside the metaphor, okay, the nice town in the middle of a valley with a fantastic scenery of mountains around was the city of Trento. The threatening dragon was the current recession. And the University of Ntice was probably the University of Trento and all the other association giving good learning to students and start-uppers. The king has given money to association to sponsor the young knight. Okay, this was probably Trento Rise. And Theodore Pickerton stands for TP, no? Tech Pickers, of course. Because have the courage to be young, go in the market and defeat the dragon, because they want to know the customer first. Okay, this was the cover story. Now you can have fun. By the way, I'm ready for any kind of question. Let's say the next speech is here in 45 minutes, so I can stay here this side to make the questions and this side to answer the questions, or I can wait for your question to happen. So whatever you want. Any question? Or you want to be free or whatever? Up to you.
Any question?
Yes, any question. Or I can tell you a story about other dragons or other stories. I'm a storyteller anyway, yeah.
Happens that customers do not know what they want.
Yes.
So how can you manage this in startup?
Fantastic. I think this is the
It happens to me with wineries. They don't know exactly what they want in marketing and stuff. So basically, how can you manage?
I think again, whatever practically you can do to live with the customer. So you already you are doing, so you organize events and try to stay with them. Because by the way, okay, wine, for example. So wine, or let's say maybe in any business, but in particularly wine, you have the sommelier that know fantastically what they want. You have common people with a sense of taste. You have common people with no sense of taste that just follow trends. And you have people with no sense of taste and does not follow trends. They simply drink Tavernello or something similar. So which is the customer you want to be focused on? Try to make events. So in events, you have a few hours and live with them. Then what you are doing, you are approaching companies that are doing wine. Okay, talk with them. They are not exactly your customer, but they are part of the ecosystem. Sometimes in a B2B, they can be your customer. So live with them. Again, living with them, finding whatever chance you have to live with them. I was in the motorcycle business for 13 years. By the way, I was loving motorcycling. So it was, for me, it was like having fun and being paid for having fun. So that's why I stayed for 14 years. But I was going into the big events. Probably you know the Ducati World Day. I was going to a Grand Prix racing, and then you were there and you were talking with the customer. And customer were not talking by specification. No? You know, a motorcycle. You look at, you go to the internet and say, okay, 160 horsepower, very good. 160 kilograms, fantastic. Oh, 240 kilometers an hour, very good. You never sell a motorcycle like this, no? You sell a motorcycle by telling people and by hearing people doing like this, no? You know, when you are in a band, and you feel that, you feel here, huh? Okay, this is a way of selling, this is a way of buying a motorcycle, this is a way you understand. And if you're talking of, I'm going too technical, you know, once upon a time I was an engineer, so I go back to this. But you don't talk about torque, horsepower, kilograms. No, if you drive a Ducati, believe me, if someone has it, okay, or an Aprilia, a twin cylinder, you feel the cylinders here. No? You open the throttle and you hear, so it's not an Yamaha R1 that you are on the bend and make, woo, 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 woo. No, it's here. No, you buy the motorcycle here. And you understand here if you live with the customer. If not, it's specification. One line after the other, kilograms and this and this. But you satisfy, so some of the pitches before, very nice, because they raise the inspiration. You have to inspire people, and to inspire people, okay, Ivan was saying, you have to be knowledge of the domain, but you have to have a knowledge of the domain, a knowledge of the customer so deep that you have to become a customer. You have to be here. No? The customer is not here. No? The customer is here. Okay.
Another question.
Please send me home. Oh, okay. What other question? Okay. Tell you another story? No, no, no.
Yeah,
Not
we
so.
have another question.
Okay. Yes.
Thank you. So I'm working in a startup, and sometimes I'm worried about using these terms because I'm not in the software development business. So we are building an hardware startup, and on a really easy product, but nonetheless, it's an hardware startup. Our problem is that when the first day we start, we have to start in the right ways. Otherwise, so we have to start big. Otherwise, it's a really easy to copy product. We do have a patent, but a patent will not be the solution. So most of the times in these days, in events like this one, they say, okay, you have to validate your product, you have to try it, and you have to start small. In our case, this is not viable, and you have to have this gut feeling that this product is going to boom, and you have to convince other people to invest in order to start at the same time in many different countries. So hardware and software is different, is like Apple and peers. And you were comparing a motorcycle development with a software product. So in which way these two fields diverge, and where they are similar?
Okay, that's a bit of a difficult question, but I think in principle, everything is the same, of course, but this is just in principle. Of course, hardware is, I'm coming from the hardware way, so I spend the majority of my life in manufacturing, so I am kind of a hardware guy. So you have to understand what is the really minimum viable product that you can build to minimize the investment. Okay, I don't know. Can you tell me more specifically? Because
let's say it's a accessory for tablet and smartphone, and we already built the final product. It's not even a demo. We did 7 versions of it, so right now we know how much does it cost. We know everything, and so we know the material. We know who can produce it, how much it is going to cost, in which kind of how you can I don't know, differentiate yourself from other competitors. So everything is there. We have just to click the button to start. But we have to do it in several countries at the same time, or at least in 2 big countries at the same time. Like I cannot start to sell my accessory in a small shop in Trento, or I don't know, a small shop in Milan or in London or in New York. I have to start selling it in, I don't know, Walmart or something like that.
But are you sure that the customer wants it? Yes, so you validate the product.
This is the worst thing my product has. So basically, I never found anyone who didn't say to me after I explained it to him, okay, I want one. Every single person I talk to, they say, I want to have one. Tell me when it is ready because I want to buy one. Everyone.
No, yes, but let's say this can be the risky thing of the,
exactly.
of the dark cave and the dragon. No? The point is, do it, build it. No? I don't know in which material is made, but let's say...
I already did it, so I got it.
Okay, 3D printer, you sold 1,000 of them. No, you built 6 of them.
20.
20,
yes.
Okay, my suggestion would be, okay, I don't know how much it costs, so I don't know the business, but it would be, let's lose money and start building 1,000 of them, 500 of them, in 3D printer, simplified 3D printer, or handmade in some form, and start selling to really validate that the product is really selling. Then the investment, if it is necessary for iPad, how much it is? 60,000, 80,000?
No, less than that. And
less than that?
Yes.
Okay, so now is the effort of pushing very hard and pitching fantastically to venture capitalists to have, after all, a small amount of money, because 50,000.
No, it's not a problem of money. I already have the money also. So if I push the button, I can do it. So right now we are looking for investors that help us getting to the distribution channel, basically.
Okay, so not very much an investor. So you're not looking for money, you're looking for
Partnership.
help in kind,
Yes.
partnership, networking,
But
and
also money, because if you go to distribution channel, you sell something and you get the money after a month if everything goes well.
mhm.
So you also need money. Money is not what I'm looking for. I said I'm looking for investor in order to find a partnership to the distribution channel.
But I think you have to start, I would say,
Building it.
not very small, but you have to start pretty small. So Target, Walmart, these things, this guy never moves for a thing like this. And so if you have the access to them, that's fantastic. So you have a business development, a customer acquisition issue at this moment. So knowing someone that introduce you into there. But to be introduced, you have to show sales somewhere. So I started selling in a 1 million market, and I got 100,000 sales.
Okay.
So I say, I'm great, and we can do it.
Okay, thank you.
But, okay, by the way, it's not, one recipe, one size fits all, but let's say, start doing, because if you simply start thinking what will be the next step, then you never start. So start small and then grow as much as you can. So they find agents, find people that fell in love with the product and promote the product.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, sorry.
So live with the customer is a very simple idea, but it's crucial. So why so many companies find it so hard to implement it?
Yes, also coming from companies that made mistakes, it's relatively easy. Let's say for startups, or let's start with companies. Companies became arrogant. So this is what I found. A company is start being very, very near to the company, very near to the customer, then start having a marketing department that is fairly near to the customer, but the marketing department is not talking with the R&D, is not talking with the manufacturing, is not talking with the quality. Then even the marketing department become a pyramidal structure, and the director of marketing becomes some kind of a superhero, not being in contact with the customer itself. And before the knowing the customer issue goes up to the pyramid, to the marketing director, goes to the R&D, and this, a lot of information is lost. So arrogance is one point. And many companies can go to success and then decline because of this arrogance. So I've seen even books saying how to avoid this arrogance. They call it the sandbox. The kids are playing in the sandbox, so whatever mistake they make, the sand remain in the sandbox. So, okay, companies are doing like this. So they create a kind of a sandbox, customer development, business development place where they can play with customer in new things and regain the contact with the customer. Sometimes big companies are even forced to create spin-offs because they are not able, as a super multinational, to manage with the customer. For a startup, it's relatively, or is theoretically simpler. But the difficulty is that the startup is, let's say, like the circus when you have the sticks and the dishes, no? And you have to rotate 1,000 dishes, and these are basically the startuppers. So they have to be accounting, then a venture capitalist raising money, a business development, and go and make the pitches. And then sometimes they are not the time because it's tremendously time-consuming. So it's time-consuming because it's not focus group. Is that okay? We have 3 days focus group, and then we make statistics. So it's time-consuming, and it's painfully time-consuming. If you're in a big company, you have to recruit also people that have a similar mindset to the customer. And sometimes, let's say, I make again the example of the motorcycle company. So Aprilia was making big motorcycle for 30, 40-year-old guys and was making scooters for the 14-year-old. If you use the same product manager for the two things, very unlikely one of the two customers you will fully understand. So you have to have, if not a 14, let's put an 18 guy, young, dynamic, that talk the same language. because otherwise it will take a lot of time to be used to the darkness of the cave. Yes, please.
Your answer made me think on a specific aspect of a startup, which is, for you, is it best to do that circus thing of doing content and then developing and stuff like that? Or it is better to invest some money in and pay someone who knows how to do all the things? But when you don't have money, so avoid time-consuming investing, no.
No, so you have replied already, so you don't have money, so... no, but
yeah, okay, you can of course, if you make some efforts, you can find monies in some difficult ways, so I don't know. The question is it better to invest your time in finding someone who can handle all these situations in a professional way, or is better doing by yourself when you're a startup and then maybe grow and give this task to who knows how to handle them?
I say you can use also the support of professionals to understand better marketing, yes. But don't think that someone will understand the customer on your behalf. No way.
No, of course, but the other stuffs, I mean the technical stuff. I mean, if I am an accountant, I cannot be a developer and so on. So if my team doesn't involve all the key factors that are needed to run a business, so you have to have someone who can do business development, but also have to know something about taxes and technical stuff. But you also have to have someone who knows how to develop your product, and someone who have to do marketing. And you have to deal with different. Yeah. Is it better to do it on a smaller scale? I mean, doing with a few people which handle different situations, maybe even if they don't know how to handle properly all the situation, or is it better to pay someone who knows how to do this, even if you're on a initial phase of your business?
Let's say at the beginning you don't have money, so you have to do.
In your opinion, because there is no.
No, yes. But if I have to subcontract, if I have the money to subcontract some of the works, I would subcontract accounting. If it is not key, if it is not super critical, I would subcontract coder, programming, but I would not subcontract marketing. Or this will be the last thing I would subcontract, because I want to know really deeply the customer, because then I can tell exactly to the programmer what to do. I can tell exactly to the accountant what to do. Accountant, I would say, hardly add any value. So this is use someone else to understand what is the taxation system in that specific country. But if you subcontract marketing, stay very near to the company. So don't accept at all simply a report saying the market is like this, the customer is like that. Because very often you go to a customer and you say, you have a questionnaire and say, do you like this product? Yes. This yes is no. No, I don't like it. But he is not telling no, he's telling me yes, because maybe you have made a marketing test in a nice room of a restaurant, you are offering some snacks, you are making him feeling comfortable for a couple of hours, so he will not say, this thing is awful. She will say, yeah, and maybe someone is doing this, is saying, okay, yes, he said yes. No, it's not yes. So you have to be there, you have to understand. And if you say no, okay, why no? And start knowing. But what are you looking for? And then deeper and deeper. Accounting?
Yeah.
Subcontract.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. But definitely marketing, stay near, spend as much time as you can, because this gives you the competitive edge. Ivan, tricky question.
I just want to add a comment. Maybe Vittorino was trying to explain how to develop a very good product or service, in order to make a startup born. Maybe your question is more about how to run a company, because it's is a different question. Things about buying services or making it by yourself is something about how to run the company and manage it. Is not the example of Vittorino's example. Is to me is more how to develop a product. So how to concentrate.
I would say it's. Frankly speaking, I would give the same answer even if it is running a company. So take an automotive business. So the future of automotive business is to have inside the minimum possible expertise. So let's say, what is today, I don't know, BMW doing? BMW is having the best possible knowledge of the customer. So what is the customer experience on a car? So the advertising is pleasure of driving and this thing. So this is the core competence. Then another totally different core competence is how to sell a car to my customer. So BMW and Porsche have developed a huge business. So BMW in Munich, a huge business just to deliver the car to the key customers. And then what they have inside, the R&D, a full-fledged, big size R&D. And then only the manufacturing. So BMW is not manufacturing, so pleasure of driving. So you can imagine that suspension and steering are key parts, and brakes are key parts for having a pleasure of driving, and even engine. Okay, they are not designing these things. So Brembo is designing brakes. Yes, BMW plus someone else is designing engines. So ZF is designing gearboxes, and they are key part of the pleasure of driving. But they are focusing more on understanding the customer. So marketing, R&D, manufacturing. Why manufacturing? Only to have the guarantee of the quality. So if they could subcontract manufacturing somewhere else, they would be happy. By the way, I don't know if you know, but the X3 is now a very successful product of BMW. At the beginning, it was risky because BMW was known for the sedan and touring car, so not for the SUVs. So they say, okay, X5 was fairly successful, but who knows X3, too near to X5. So they give the assembly of the X3 somewhere else. So it was assembled by Magna in Austria. So they say, even manufacturing is not totally key, but understanding customer, when they decide which product to do, understanding customer to understand how to sell it was super key. And then R&D to make development of the key innovative things in-house, and to have a very good leverage in controlling suppliers. For example, BMW spent a lot of money and time to understand what is the right smell to feel when you enter a new car. And the reply was nothing. So no reply, nothing, so no smell. And so leather should smell, no smell. Oil should smell, no smell, of course, oil. Moquette, no smell. Okay? If you are happy, I'm happy. So I think our next appointment is in 22 minutes or 30 minutes. So 4:45. And okay, thank you everybody. Ciao.
I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you when I go out. Yeah, I know I'm gonna be the man who goes along with you. And if I get drunk, yes, I know